Hey everyone, and welcome to the very first episode of Ask Rad and Friends. So I am so excited to bring you this new video show, and it's where it's designed to be for 15 to 20 minutes, so enough to give you amazing information, but not so long that it feels like a time commitment for you. So I'm going to be bringing to you some of today's most inspiring spiritual teachers. I'm very excited about it. We've lined up Colette Barron-Reed and Kyle Gray and Denise Lynn and Dougal Fraser and Isabel Von Falois and all kinds of other people. So we're really excited about it. It's going to be happening on Thursdays, just like right now, at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern. So I'm very excited that our very first guest is just like a glass of champagne, and her name is Tania Gabrielle. Now, if you don't know Tania Gabrielle, I have a present for you because she is a gift, and she is what is known as a Wealth Astrologer and the creator of Numerology Academy. Now, this is the first certified online program revealing the secrets in the stars and numbers by merging two what I call languages of the divine, numerology and astrology. She's a wealth astronumerologist and psychic, and her primary focus is teaching spiritual principles that manifest in real life results. Now, who doesn't want that? Now, let me tell you, this chick has street creds. She does. She has been in the New York Times, Los Angeles Times, USA Today, Entertainment Weekly, ESPN Magazine, Essence Magazine, Yahoo.com, and 2 documentaries, Quantum Communication, and The Voice. I'm telling you, that's cred. So, hey, Tania, welcome to the first episode of Ask Rad and Friends.
I'm so happy to be here, Rad. I'm so excited to have met you through our dear friend Colette, first of all, and thank you to her. All 3 of us, I think, create magic in our own unique way, so I'm so happy to share what I do with your audience today. Thank you.
Excellent. And you've got some really great information for us. So where do you want to start?
Okay, so just to explain, what I do is numbers and stars. So I combine 2 divination arts, which usually are separate. Most people know numerology and astrology is separate. So what I'm going to do today is show you how when we combine them, we get more info and a lot more tools that we can use to just navigate through what's going on, which is a lot. As we know, our lives are changing by the minute, it seems, you know. So what I'm going to start with is the fact that we're talking in September, which is always a big month. It's the 9th month of the year. So it doubles up the universal year number. So always in September is when we tend to start the fiscal year. We start the school year. There's a reason for that because there's a doubling up of energy. And so in 2018, we're in an 11 universal year. And in September, we're in a 20 universal month. So both of those numbers, 20 and 11, reduce to 2. And there's going to be a storyline about this number 2, because 2 is about 2 people, love, relationship, balance, you know. And in the stars, the same message is going on. It's so incredible this year. So let me just mention the 11 is a number we all are familiar with. We see 1111. It is the psychic number. It is about being present, not divided. So not being, you know, which way do I go, but standing in the present moment, which is the only moment that is alive. So it is such a powerful portal to walk through into the unknown. That's what it means. It's like, just be who you are, no excuses, and be in the moment. So all year long, we're learning to be present, not to be distracted, right? So then this number 2 is about bringing our life into balance, the inner and outer into balance.
That'd be great.
Yeah. And the way we are most confronted is in our relationships, right? Because another person, when he or she walks into our life and we start having our own energy and we're mixing it with theirs, we have to be so present not to react to their energy, just to be unconditional love there for them and for us. So this month, we have this doubling up of that 2 energy. So your love life is totally opening up in many ways. Many people are actually leaving partnerships and many people are coming closer together. This is a very common theme when the number 2 is activated. So you'll notice that with people around you. But the other thing is, in the astrology now, you probably know Mars went retrograde this summer and just went direct recently. Those of you who are interested. Yes, right? Well, Mars.
I call it the jogging through the deep end of the swimming pool aspect.
Yeah. Oh my Lord.
You spend all this energy and you get nowhere.
Yes, our energy goes down, you know, things sort of tank in terms of our projects moving forward, but it's not always the case that everything, it's just like Mercury retrograde. It's not like every Mercury retrograde is the same way. It differs. In this case, Mars just entered Aquarius after its retrograde, okay? And this is a big deal because and I'm going to tie this all together, so just bear with me. So Mars just ended its retrograde. Venus is about to start its retrograde. This is sort of unusual that they're both so close to each other. Mars and Venus are our love planets, you know, sexual drive, Mars, male, masculine. And of course, Venus is about beauty and expansion and more the feminine side. So we're in between right now in September before Venus goes retrograde in early October. And amazingly enough, we have this Aries full moon coming up. Okay, I'll tie this together for you. Aries is ruled by Mars. And then we also have the autumn equinox coming up. The moment that the sun enters Libra is when autumn starts here in the northern hemisphere. And so why is that important? Because Libra, where the sun's going, is ruled by Venus. So we got this Aries full moon with Mars the ruler, and we've got the equinox with Venus ruling Libra, and this is happening right in between the 2 retrogrades. So you can see how it's all tying in now with the numerology, the left, right, masculine, feminine, and in the astrology. So why is that important? Well, this full moon in Aries, where the sun is in Libra and the moon is in Aries, again, balance, the number 2, is so powerful because it forms what's called a T-square with Saturn, okay? And it's not just any T-square. The sun is next to Mercury and the moon is next to Chiron, exact conjunction. So we have almost a quadruple T-square with Saturn. Now this is big, okay? So let me just say, no worries. It's not like, I know, see, there's a reason we're talking. By the way, this is happening on the 24th in the Americas and 25th everywhere else, this full moon, right? So it's coming up soon. So what it's doing, Saturn is the timekeeper. So Saturn is saying, okay, it's time. It's time for you to make a decision about how you relate to the world, how you communicate, what your inner is. Are you in balance about who you are? Or are you reacting to the outside world's expectations of you and therefore doing things that are not in alignment with your soul purpose? And this is going to be really brought home during this full moon. Why? Because Aries is the first sign. We're in an 11 year, which is double 1, new beginnings. We are starting the new year again in September, which is when things start up again. This is all about new beginnings. Aries, 11, so you need to just know that things are shifting rapidly towards this point. And once Venus goes retrograde, you're going to be in a period where you're going to really look at how you love, what your values are in love. And in general, not just with your partner, if you're in a relationship, but how do you relate to people? Is it unconditional or is it conditional? That's what's going to come up, and you're going to make decisions about who's in your life too. Are people manipulating you and you're allowing that to happen, or are you really in control? Are you in balance? Again, that balance number. So again, I'm so excited to talk to you because I wanted to share this so that people don't freak out. If something happens to them, it really just go within and ask yourself very simple questions. Does this feel right? Do I feel in harmony? This is all Venus stuff. Mars is saying, do I feel like I can initiate on my own accord? Is this unique to me? Am I being the original Tania? Or am I projecting somebody else's ideas of who I am? So these are the internal and external questions now.
So when does Venus go retrograde?
On the 5th of October. So it's already in its period where we're starting to feel it, but that's the actual moment that it stations, backwards, so it's going to be still. So, and when personal planets go retrograde, we all know about Mercury retrograde. It happens 3 times a year usually. We're familiar with Mercury retrograde. But Venus and Mars are the least two that go retrograde, the least amount of time. So we're not so used to it when they happen to do it. But they're personal planets, meaning they really affect our personal lives when it happens. And so they are, pardon me?
So they go retrograde fewer times because they're the 2 planets closest to Earth. Is that why?
No, because Mercury's actually very close as well. It's just the way they're moving, because we've got planets way far out, Pluto and Neptune. They retrograde much longer and much more frequently than Venus and Mars do. I don't know the astronomical reason. I'd have to look that up, but I just know that they are, and it's good they don't retrograde often, because in a way, well, we don't want to constantly be like going within all the time. Relationships are about sharing. So we don't want to be in that constant, okay, I need to go and be quiet and get my space. But during these retrogrades, that's what we need. We need to do that. So, yeah, but look, I love that it's happening in an 11 year. I can't stress this enough, because this is about new beginnings and moving forward. So it won't feel like things are coming to a standstill. It just will be like you need to redirect your energy during this time. Just like when Mars went retrograde, if you redirected something in your life this summer, it was meant to be. This is very good for you energetically, right? You're going.
I was finishing my new book during the Mars retrograde, and I got to tell you, it was painful. It was so hard.
Yeah,
but I actually once did a house remodel during a Mars retrograde, and we went through 3 double ovens before we got one that worked, 2 air conditioning units before it worked. We had to refinish the floors twice because the color didn't come out right the first time. It was like, that's where I learned about, oh, this is Mars retrograde. Fun.
Yeah, once you know the cycles, you try not to plan those big events around them. And so in this case, with Venus, I also want to stress Venus rules your money. It's the 2nd house, it's Taurus. So it's not just Libra. Venus rules 2 signs. So it will also bring a shift in how you, your financial sector, how you attract wealth and abundance. And it doesn't mean it will slow down necessarily. It just means you want to look at your values regarding money and wealth. So this is important because it's a fabulous time to actually look at your financial flow. What are you doing to attract actual abundance in your life? Meaning, how are you using your gifts, and what are you receiving in return? What are your price points if you are an entrepreneur? Great time to look at all of that, and upgrade your values during this time.
Well, and this is something that you're an expert at, the whole wealth aspect of it.
Mm-hmm.
So I imagine that you are going to have a lot to say about this during this time that's coming up in your personal broadcast. Now, when does your personal broadcast happen each week?
My broadcasts are when the new moon and full moon come around, so every 2 weeks. And then I have my weekly forecasts as well, which come out every Sunday. So if you're on my email list, you get sent the link and can watch the weekly forecast that will prepare you for the energetics in the stars and numbers every week. So I have 6 approximately a month. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So we'll definitely have your link back to your page in this video so that people can find you, like your page, and keep up to date on all of this stuff that's going on. That's so incredible. Tell people where they can find you. And also, you've got a course or something going on right now or available?
Yeah. So people can find me at my URL homepage, TaniaGabrielle.com, and that's Tania with an I. And I have this cool 90-minute free webinar where you can learn more about your own stars and numbers. And so if you go to TaniaGabrielle.com/free, you'll be taken to a page where you can register for that free webinar. And it's really exciting. It's literally you discover your own divine blueprint based on the stars and numbers. And yeah, it's exciting. You know, it's something everybody should know. And you can use for your kids, your partner. You can just understand yourself better. So it looks at career. It looks at your birthday. You know, it's exciting.
I'm registering for that. You might see me.
Okay, sounds good.
Thank you so much for being with us. I appreciate it. You were the perfect person to start off Ask Grad Friends. So I'm so glad that you could be here with us. Just so you guys know, my next book, The Compendium of Magical Things, is available for pre-order. There's a link inside this video. If you check it out, we're giving away over $120 worth of free gifts if you pre-order The Compendium of Magical Things. It's super cool. It's a 3-part video course, a meditation on communicating with the divine, and a whole bunch of other toys and playthings. So check that out. Now, next week, I will be chatting up my dear friend and angel brother, Kyle Gray. So you won't want to miss that. And finally, if you just want to hang out with me for a little while longer, my radio show, Magical Things with Radley Valentine on Hay House Radio, fires up in about 45 minutes at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern. So check it out. In the meantime, thank you, Tanya, and everybody. Always remember, life is magic.